sheet or something just to keep the dust off it while the conditioner is working its way into the leather, which will take 8 to 12 hours. So this is something at the end of the day, or a day you're not going to use your saddle, is the day to condition. So again, not too much conditioner. As you put the conditioner on, you may feel where the saddle is a little drier in some spots or stiffer, and other spots where it's soft and easy to apply. And it's the dry spots that need the conditioner. So like this saddle, you can barely see, there was a little red spot here when I let the cleaning or conditioning go too long and the sun started to fade it. But as soon as I add a little bit of conditioner, it really darkens up the black again. Keeps the saddle beautiful. And if I can do this in a quick YouTube video, it doesn't take all that long. All right, so I'm just letting this oil-soaked or conditioner-soaked sponge put all this conditioner in the leather and feed it. Okay. So at this point, there's nothing else I can do. The saddle is finished, and it needs to be stored until the conditioner soaks into the saddle and the saddle doesn't feel oily or greasy anymore. It doesn't take much conditioner to keep your saddle black. So that little canister will last me about a year if I just condition a little bit regularly. So from here, wipe my hands off. I'm just going to put oh, not yet. Sorry. I was going to say I need to put the saddle cover back on, but I forgot to do the stirrups. So the stirrup leathers, quick and dirty way to do the stirrup leathers. And again, these are black stirrup leathers that have a insert in the middle where they don't stretch. So I'm actually able to condition these stirrup leathers to keep them black. So I don't even unbuckle them. I just take them off the saddle, run my soapy sponge down both sides. When I get to the stirrup area, I just flip it, run the soap down, hang that one up, do the other one. I could have wiped this off with plain water like I showed with the saddle. Oops, dang it. But they're not all that dirty. So I'm kind of getting away with just showing a soaping of the stirrup leathers. So I get down to where the stirrup hangs, and this way I don't really have to unbuckle them. And the soap over the buckle, like getting all the hardware soaped up, actually kind of keeps it lubricated. So the buckles work better, the snaps work better, everything works better after you have a little bit of the glycerin soap on it. So it doesn't matter if you're sloppy like I am. Okay, let that one hang. Go back to my clean cloth. And same thing to clean it. So I could let this soak in longer. Right? I could have done my stirrup leathers first, but I'm just going to take my clean, dry cloth and wipe all the soap off, and with it comes the dirt. And I don't have to take the stirrups apart. I can just sort of move the stirrup on the leather. Actually, I'll let that one dry a second. Do that one. Oops. So if you keep it quick and easy, It's easier to do often. Once the saddle gets moldy or faded or really full of greasy gunk, all of these steps are the same, but each step takes a lot longer. But I've had saddles that looked ruined that I've cleaned this way, and they really come back. So there's all the dirt that came off. So it can be a bit of a surprise at how nicely a saddle comes back if you're using all natural products. And I just dabbed a tiny bit of conditioner. And because these are black and because they're reinforced stirrup leathers, which means they don't stretch, that's the only reason I condition these stirrup leathers. If they were normal stirrup leathers, just like the billet straps, I would not add conditioner because the stirrup leathers would stretch out and not be able to take as much force when they become too soft. But you can see how the black really looks a lot better after a tiny touch of conditioner. And again, you can put the conditioner right over your buckles, your snaps, all your hardware, and it just keeps everything functioning beautifully with a little bit of extra lubrication. Okay, so before I put the saddle away, now on these particular stirrups and leathers, it doesn't matter which side I have on. But when you're putting your stirrup leathers back on, you have the stirrup bar with this little tab down. And usually you can just take the leather in a loop, push it over that bar, right? Then you pull the back side of the leather to get the buckle right up. And when you ride, that part's supposed to be flipped up so that your stirrup doesn't fall off the stirrup bar while you're riding, right? This length is set for me, so I stick the extra back through the hole. And then in order to have nice stirrup leathers and to prevent the stirrup itself from leaning against the saddle, I run the stirrup up the back leather, push it through, and then I just fold it. So I just tuck it like that. And so the stirrup is not actually touching the saddle, and the stirrup leather is not overly curled. It's just a nice loop. So your stirrup leathers stay pretty straight and they don't kink up. Ooh, this whole thing is greasy and slippery now. So same thing on the other side. And I do this every time I put my saddle away because some people will they'll tie the stirrup leathers, but that can create a little bit of curl through your stirrup leathers. So if you just tuck them up there nicely, like that, it prevents the stirrup from touching the saddle, so you don't need the special socks. And it keeps your stirrup leathers from bending too much and curling too much. Whew. So then when all is said and done, I'm going to put my saddle cover on and give it overnight to soak in all of that conditioner. Then tomorrow I have the option. If the saddle is a little too slick, or if I want it just to be more protected, I can put a final coat of just the glycerin soap over the conditioner after the conditioner is soaked in. I could do that soapy part one more time right over the conditioner before I ride. That creates a little bit stronger barrier for the dirt and for the elements and protects the saddle even more. So the final would be, after all the conditioner is soaked in, I would do a regular soaping without wiping it down first because I've already cleaned it. So I would just do the soap and then wipe the soap off with a dry cloth, and that would give the saddle one more layer of protection and durability. So that is essential saddle cleaning.